You're so sleepy, puppy dog. Get back into my stream manager, make sure everything's up for the session. Alright. Oh, hush, puppy. Okay. Alrighty, welcome back to the stream. Today will be, hopefully, the actual build day. I mean, we still have some other stuff to do, like, I'm going to kill these animals right now for XP. I didn't get a chance to get on at all offline to be able to get some progress on levels and things, so I'm a little upset about that, but I had a lot to do yesterday, so it was pretty busy. I still have quite a lot to do, but today is stream day, so I wasn't gonna miss out on that. Let me collect these. But today, hopefully, we're gonna get something started for the house. I'm not sure what. I'm not exactly sure how I want to set it up. I think I'm just gonna kind of wing it and start making an outline and figure out what size I want it to be and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get some decent progress on that. We have plenty of wood of any type. I don't know what wood I want to use for it, though, is the problem. I'm running off of no references, no tutorial, which is not good for my well-being of actually making progress and getting this done. First things first, let me take some dirt and go fill in those creeper holes, and probably actually also replace the taiga section over here because I don't think I want that in the way. Although for now I think I can leave it in case I need to build more trees here. I was thinking about putting my house on this side though, so I'm not sure. Let's fill in these holes though. Oh, free lead. I guess he lost his llamas. Put a torch down here so nothing spawns. Yes, I know it's typically frowned upon to fill these in just hollow like that, but that's what I always do, so oh well. My partner says I'm crazy for doing it all the time, but it's fine. I might have to do, or want to do, a little more terraforming as well today. I know that the terraforming's pretty much set up, but I really wanted to... Why is there endless of my phone going off? I really wanted to kind of fix up these hills a little bit. I'm not sure. It's not really necessary, it's just kind of a want, like maybe like one level down on this or something, and then that top little jagged level down. Nixie, relax. Just to make things a little easier to see past, like when I'm over here, and also to make it all a little bit more uniform. But all of the tasks are going to be focused around the house today as best I can. I'm trying really hard to remind my brain to just keep focused on the house, but I really don't want to focus on it, so it's hard. But we really need to get a house done because we hit 25 followers, which means we have to do the pet taming and naming stream. So that'll have to be scheduled out ahead of time because I'm hoping to get at least a few people online that, for it that are active and able to kind of chat with me so that we can name the pets and stuff while we're doing it. Let's go over here and make another shovel. So I was hoping to be able to have some input on naming them instead of just naming them on my own. So I'll have to schedule it and like make it an event and everything so that we can make sure that we have knowledge about it ahead of time to make it a nice event for the world. We're going to be naming some of the horses probably. We'll tame and name a few dogs, a few cats, that sort of thing. We need more name tags, so I'll have to fish for one of the streams before that. But next week doesn't look nearly as busy as this week, so hopefully I can do a couple like just casually playing off stream or playing on stream with mic off and just getting a bunch of tasks done like fishing and stuff so that we can get some of the items we need. But for now, let's get this. I'll probably make a separate like hut or house or something for the animals as well, like for the dogs and for the cats. I used to, in the older version when I used to play, I used to make like really big dog houses, like a big little house for them with like a big yard and some decorative structures for them. I have a couple of them in some of the worlds on like the PlayStation 3 that I have, and I think I might have done it on one of the PlayStation 4 worlds we had on his account. But I used to always make little like dog houses and dog yards instead of like keeping them all crammed in the house. Back in way older version, like when I used to play on a laptop all the time, I actually once made like this really giant house with like a bunch of different, what was it based off of? It was based off of one of the YouTubers I watched at the time, Stamby Longhead, I want to say, actually. Might have been him. I don't know. One of the YouTubers that I was watching at the time had made like a big, like dog area inside a mountain or inside a hill. And I had emulated that and made a big area for my dogs with a bunch of little, like, using stairs and slabs to make little, like, playhouses and ramps and stuff like that. It's really fun to do, and I love doing it, so I'll have to do that. How he does? I haven't watched him in so long. I used to watch him a ton in the time that I was playing then on the laptop, and I made a bunch of stuff like his. I had like an entire mountain base that I had based off of a bunch of stuff. I know he still made videos, but I didn't know if he was still doing that world or not. That's really cool. I'll have to look into it, because I remember like way back when that world was early. That was like one of my biggest comfort YouTubers when I was younger. He still is like a really good comfort YouTuber. I just don't watch. I haven't watched his channel in a while. I still have to rewatch like a lot of the old stuff back then. Like I started rewatching the Oasis series that Aya's Cupquake had, that I used to watch in that era as well, because that was a really good series and I loved all the mods that she had, and she's fun to watch. But it's so crazy that like some of the YouTubers I used to watch are still doing stuff. Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you for the information, Elliot. I didn't know. I knew he was still making content, I just didn't know that he was still making a lot of, like, Minecraft content, especially on the same world, because that world's been around for ages. So, yeah, like, I mean, like, a lot of the other channels I used to watch back then have veered away from that same content, like, for example, Sky Does Minecraft and all that. Sky does make content still once in a while, but he's been having a lot of issues with like his mental health, so he's in and out of doing YouTube a lot, and he doesn't do as much of the same content that he used to, and a lot of the YouTubers he used to make with don't make content anymore, and same thing with like Preston Plays and stuff that I used to watch back in 2017-ish era. Now he's still, I mean, Preston still does Minecraft stuff, but he's like very different of how his energy and his channel is and all of his stuff, which I don't complain about. People change over time, but it's crazy to see like some of the stuff that stays the same too. So, but yeah, Stamby was definitely one of the ones that I based a lot of my old school worlds off of. It was so fun. And I still, like, out of habit will make dog areas most of the time when I'm in worlds, then I have a lot of dogs and I want to keep them somewhere, because I just like the concept of giving them like their own space. It was so fun. I remember he used to have like he used to do so much stuff with that world because of the fact that it was all like it lasted so long that he had to think of so many things to do. Like I remember there was the mini golf that he was doing with like ice and snowballs and all that. I did that once in the creative world. I think I actually did that. Yeah, I did that in a creative world with my little brother back on the PlayStation 3, because we did a entire creative minigame world where all of the world was about making different minigames. Like we had hide and seek, we had the mini golf, we had murder mystery, I think. We had a bunch of different like mini games based off of servers and based off of other YouTubers. Goodness gracious, I'm losing my voice. Jeez, sorry for the loud noise. I'm losing my voice today. We had a lot of different mini games based off of servers or based off of YouTubers that we used to watch, and that was one of the ones that I made on that world. And then we'd like do multiplayer playing and have all like invite the friends we had to it and play mini games. It was actually really fun and it worked out really well, but sadly the world got erased because that was around the same time that he started messing around with doing modding and stuff. And he jailbroke the PlayStation 3, and then he had saved the worlds to his flash drive, but they didn't like take, or they got corrupted somewhere along the way, or he like erased them to have space for something else. I don't know. He told me at one point, but something along those lines where it just they got deleted for whatever reason, and now they're lost, which sucks because that was a really fun world. We made a bunch of really cool mini games with it. But it happens. We used to have a lot of fun with that because we used to have a few PlayStation friends that we would play with a lot. So we'd have like 3 or 4 player games minimum, and it was really fun to play. And we had like a whole rule system, and we had like a voting area, and like a cool spawn that we made, and all kinds of stuff. That was one of the most effort that I've put into a creative world that actually like cohesively made sense. Like for example, the hide and seek one, we surrounded a village, and we surrounded a village with a wall so no one could escape the hide and seek area, and then we made it so that there were some extra spots to hide. Like we edited some of the houses a little, and we added a few trees, and we added some ladders and vines for getting around and things. Like there was an entire section where you could parkour all the way across the entire village to get to a little hidey hole in a roof that was really hard to find from the ground, that sort of thing. And we would do all that kind of stuff, and then we would have like a seeker in a little box that had a timer. We made the redstone timer so that when they flicked the lever, the redstone timer would last, I don't remember, I think it was like a minute or 30 seconds or something like that. It wasn't that long. And then when the timer was done, the door would open, and then they could go seek. Yeah, Minecraft does have name tags, but in the PlayStation 3 one, and I think maybe in this version, if you have like all of the cheats turned on and stuff so that you can edit things, there was a menu you could open so you could edit the settings of the world, and you could turn off showing name tags. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So if we remembered to, which sometimes we did forget, and then we'd realize halfway through that it was showing name tags, but if we remembered to, you could actually turn off the name tag showing so that we could do the hide and seek without anyone being able to see you. It would be annoying for using maps and things, because if we turned off name tags showing, then it wouldn't let you see where people are on the map either, because the maps are based off of name tags. But it was a setting we used to mess around with a lot. It was just one of the regular like little cheat settings. There was a little streamlined menu where you could mess with the cheat settings, like teleporting people and turning off certain settings and turning off daylight cycle or weather cycle or that sort of stuff. And we used to use that for everything. Since it was a creative world anyways, it didn't matter if it had cheats on. I know I'm supposed to be building, but I wanted some levels, so I'm going to be doing the mob hunting tonight, and then I'll start building when it's daytime. I think we had like a weird murder mystery type of game that we did that was based off of the Hypixel murder mystery, but I don't remember how we did it. It was weird. It was like everyone would stand around a dispenser, and or everyone would stay in the corner hidden, and one person would come out at a time to go hit a button on a dispenser that would give them an item. And like if you got a stick, you were just a normal person, and if you got the bow, which was a really overpowered bow, you were the murderer, and then you had to, like, everyone had to, like, go run around, and then, like, you had to try to kill people, and we weren't allowed to reveal who it was unless they revealed it themselves. So, I don't know, we had some fun with that. We had command blocks in it because he managed to get the command for getting command blocks, and he added some modded stuff in to make it a little more interesting, but for the most part we used like vanilla Minecraft. For the most part we actually used like plain old redstone and stuff to get what we needed. It was cool to see how much we could come up with from it. We worked on that world for like over a year at least, and we got really far with it, but sadly it has gone to the world because we didn't have any videos with it, and like we didn't take any videos of it or anything, and it got deleted, so it is no longer existing and will not ever exist again. I'm sure it's something that could be made a lot better, like on PC version, or even on like the updated Bedrock version, because there's so much more you can do with blocks now. But I think that's what made it fun, was that we did it with such little availability of things like that in the game that are supposed to help make it easier. It definitely wasn't like perfect. It was definitely a little funky with the system that it worked on, but I think that's kind of why we liked it, was everything was really cool and fun to do random stuff with. It was pretty expansive as well because we had such a limited range of map, since it wasn't the endless maps like it is now. So we had to keep everything in a really small radius. But this was, mind you, like not that long ago, but it was before the aquatic update, which is when the PlayStation 3 last updated. But it was I want to say, how many houses ago? I think it was, I think the last time we used it and continued to grow it was about I want to say like 4 years ago, at least, probably longer. Well, no, because the pandemic's been 2 years. Yeah, I'd say probably about 4 years ago. It was probably started around 6 years ago, and the last time we messed with it was 4 years ago, roughly. It was 2 houses ago and 1 homelessness ago, so, well, 3 houses for me, 2 houses for my brothers. And there was about a year of each of those situations, so sounds about right. He still plays Minecraft sometimes, but him and I don't really play Minecraft much together because I usually play on this and it doesn't cross-platform. And also because he's usually playing like a bunch of modded stuff with his buddies, so he'd rather play with them than with me, which I get it. He's now, my littlest brother is the one that did it with me for the most part, and he's now 14, I think. He just turned 14, so it was back when he was still kind of a sister's kid, and he was always like, he would always do anything that I asked, and we were always really close, so. My brothers and I are still a little close sometimes, but definitely not as close as we used to be. It's been a lot of years. We are running out of space. Houston, we have a problem. Let's do that. I don't need stone things in here. I know, I'm putting things away and then I'm building. I'm trying to get things organized so I know where things are to be able to build. Alrighty. Ooh, cow. Ow. Die. Yeah, I was hunting mobs at night so I could get some XP back, but I'm gonna build during the daytime. I guess I'll start with just oak wood as an outliner block to use. I'll use some oak planks and some oak wood itself. I want to put it over here, so I'm probably gonna have to take some of this taiga out. I want it to be big-ish. Like, I don't want it to be massive. I'm thinking I can make an entryway and then have that be, this is completely going to be winging it because I really don't know how to build well. And then we can make a and then we can have the outline go like this, and then have an outcropping this way for another room. I don't think I'm going to use oak wood, but I need to use oak wood to lay out the plans at least. So something like this as an outcropping. And then I was thinking over here was going to be like a porch, and then this will be the actual house walls, and we can put a little porch here, or like a sunroom or something, where it'll be like glass enclosed, or it'll have like the porch with fencing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like this, and then do trying to make sure it's similar construction wise. I'm actually thinking about adding a like round, I don't know how to describe it. So there's this part of architecture in houses that I see like in real life that I really like, that I'm curious if I can translate into Minecraft okay. I don't think I could, but I really want to try. Like the little basically like a tower like you would see in castles and things, but they're usually attached to houses, and they're like a corner of it or a little outcropping of it or whatever. I'm trying to figure out how I could make that something that makes sense in a Minecraft build. Thinking I could do it on the back corner here, where this would be the center of it. Where's my, I'm gonna have to find my, hi, welcome to the stream, how are you? I'm gonna have to find my circle templates to see what size circle I could put in here. Yeah, of course, you can ask anything. What about like a 7 circle? Or maybe a 9? I'm playing on PlayStation 4 right now, so it's the as updated of, I think Bedrock is what it is for the PlayStation 4. I'm thinking maybe 9 or 7. It's like... How far away is it? It's like... 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3... For this version, to be able to play with other people, I have to have PlayStation Plus, which I do not have because I can't afford it. So sadly, it is a solo world. Because I don't have the ability to buy PlayStation Plus to be able to play with other people. I was thinking something like this. I don't know, I think it would add a little bit of depth, but I think it would probably have to be a bigger column to make sense. It could be... I think this makes sense for now. And then we can put a little outcropping room like here-ish. I need more wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, PlayStation Plus is like $60 a year or something like that, which isn't awful, and it's definitely not something that's crazy priced, but to be able to play with others, you have to have it, and I don't have the money for it, so this is a solo world. I don't know, I think the circle part kind of looks funky, but I kind of like it. It was going to be the concept behind it. This isn't as big as I was thinking, though. I mean, it's plenty big enough, especially if I did 2 floors. I think it's big enough. But I don't know what I want to do for wood, because I don't think that just oak wood's going to look very good. So what if we did, let's test a few different types of planks to see what planks we want to do for the walls. I'm thinking a darker wood. Or doing oak wood planks and then doing darker wood for the columns, which would make sense. Dark oak, spruce, acacia, birch. I think I like oak wood for the walls, and then maybe doing like a dark oak column to break it up instead of doing oak. But I could do a darker wall as well. I think the lighter wall makes sense given that we have like all the lighter walls there and all the lighter woods around. So I think what we'll do is do dark oak for the columns, which is easy, and that makes it a lot less that I have to replace. Yeah. And I think we'll do it 1 up from the ground so that we don't have to dig out the ground to make the floor. So let's quickly replace these so that I know where the columns are. I know this isn't the most efficient way to get back and forth between my axe and the wood, but it's what I'm doing regardless. It's so weird to build a house without having any reference or anything. I think I could actually make this circle area, like the column, a different color. I'm thinking like a different planks or something so that it breaks it up some, so that it's visibly a different part of the house. Actually, I don't think I need this here. I was just doing it for reference of where the other side split. Okay, let's go sleep. My puppy dog. Nixie had a really long day yesterday, so she's just being snuggly while I'm streaming today. Oh, puppy. Because yesterday, I think I mentioned it last time, yesterday was going to be a, going to my dad's to sort out cans for redeeming cans, for some money. Maybe these? Maybe spruce? Because spruce would break it up without being completely different. I think I like spruce. So, she spent like 4 hours in the enclosed backyard at my dad's, and then she got to come out front afterwards when I was done with that and run around like crazy with her family dogs. And then I got yelled at by a neighbor because he wanted to not mind his business. And then after like a couple hours of her running around outside and stuff, we ended up going home. He ended up doing something else. My partner ended up doing something else for the moment, so he wasn't home anyways, so I just stayed out a little longer than I was originally planning. I think I want to do birch for the flooring, because I like birchwood planks. And it adds a little lightness to all the dark. But yeah, because she was running around so much, she was pretty tired. She slept for most of the car ride home, and she's been pretty tired all day and all night. She only really got hyper when, like, he came home, and she got excited that he was home, and then she went right back to sleeping again. And she slept until almost noon today, and slept all night last night, and she's currently still sleeping on the couch, so I think she tired herself out pretty good. So she'll be able to tire herself out some more over the weekend because we have to do some errands over that way, so she'll have some time out back again. She doesn't really tire herself out as much out back because she gets nervous about like wanting to know where we are, so she tends to just kind of pace a lot. But when she's out front on the front yard where it's not fenced in, she just goes nuts. She runs like crazy. I don't know why my phone keeps going off. I should probably check that. See, the thing is like, this is a pretty big house. This is one of the biggest houses I'm gonna have built on my own. But I was originally thinking even larger than this, which is why I was like so paralyzed by the thought of doing it. Because I was thinking I was gonna make something like huge on this platform and build a bunch of really big realistic rooms in it to make it like an actual house instead of just a Minecraft house. So that's why it was like so long for me to start building instead of just doing it. So instead I'm going to do about this size, and I'll add what rooms I can in it, and what rooms I don't want to add or can't add I can make as full builds. For example, I'm going to build a full build of a library and that sort of thing, just as decorative, fun builds to do. And I'll build like a witchy tower. I was gonna build a witch tower around Halloween when I originally started this world, but because everything got super delayed for builds, I didn't get to. So I'll build like a witchy tower, which will have all the brewing and potion stuff, I think. And a lot of my utility rooms will have separate areas. I'll probably build like a blacksmithing type area for my enchantments and my anvils and stuff like that. And there'll still be plenty of rooms in this house with how big it's gonna be, but I won't make it fully have to be about functionality. Is functionality a word? That made sense in my brain, but then I'm like, that doesn't sound like something that's actually a word. Oh well. You guys know what I mean. I'm killing animals while I do this because I need the XP and the stuff to trade with villagers. Okay, so that's a basic platform down, so that's a start. The front way is going to be just one floor. We'll have to have an outline for a door. I was doing that so I know how tall I need it. So oh, that was a lovely little controller glitch there. So I'm thinking the roof of this will probably actually be only like this tall, instead of being super tall. I think the roof will be about this height, just as a quick little decorative. I think I actually want to take this out and do cobblestone because it's going to be the foundation instead of doing a whole level of wood there, just to break up the wood a little bit, instead of, what do we have for cobblestone type blocks? I mean, obviously we have cobblestone, but I mean, do we have any other blocks that would make sense? I don't think so, really. Why did I take andesite out? Besides doing like a packed andesite or a packed gravel or something. Not gravel, packed granite or a packed andesite might work, but I think I'll just do cobble. So let's take that section out and do cobble instead. Well, this is the problem of doing my own builds. I can't decide what I'm doing. Let's leave it for now. I'm gonna place this down in case I need it. My thought is that this just looks a little wonky, but I can use it to make transitional areas. So we have that section. So I think I'm gonna do it section by section so that I get things done better. I'm trying to check and see if I have any extra wood blocks that I might need for building with. I can do slabs, stairs. I think the roof is probably going to be dark oak because I like the dark coloring. I really want to use mangrove, but it's hard to get enough of it because it looks so cool color-wise. Like, that is so pretty. And I bet you the stairs and stuff look really cool as well. So it's like, does it not let me make these into planks? It does. It just doesn't show it as an option for some reason. Like, that looks really cool. I think that would look really interesting for the witchy tower. As much as I want to use that as like a roof, I know I probably shouldn't because I wouldn't be able to have enough of it. And I don't want to spend ages taking out mangrove trees during this stream just to have that roof. So I think we'll go with dark oak because dark oak's a pretty good bet. Big. Let's do dark oak. Why is it not showing? Oh, because I'm not in the right tab, but that would be why. I was wondering why it wasn't showing any of the craftables. Yeah, dark oak looks so good. Dark oak looks so good, I love it. Dark oak is definitely one of my favorites. Heyo, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I am slowly making progress on a build. It's taking a minute. I don't know. I can't play with other people. I don't have PlayStation Plus. Sadly, because PlayStation Plus is too expensive right now. I'd love the day when I don't have to say that that's too expensive, but it'll be a bit. I think we're gonna do just like a traditional little roof for this section. Do it with a little stick out. But not super high. It's only gonna be like 1 or 2 high instead of... Oh! Let's do it like this. Oh wait, I do need to have it. Oh no, because this goes back, so it can go till this for now. Do it out one. And then I think we'll do a trying to think how I want to make this connect itself. I need to go sleep is what I need to do. I think 3 is too high. No, 3 is actually just about perfect. I love you, puppy dog. You're okay. She keeps looking at me trying to snuggle and being like, what? When she can't snuggle. Scaffolding would be really useful in this application. Let's get up here. I think 3 is pretty perfect, so let's do 3. Shh, you're okay, puppy. Do an upside down stair for it. And then we'll have to put a torch up here for now because of the fact of mobs. What do we think? Yeah, I think that's good. And I think I'll do the upside down stairs to make it more. Yeah. There we go. So there's the entryway. We can do staircase for the entryway. Relax. Nixie, relax, honey. So yeah, so we've got the entryway started, so that's a good start. We have to figure out how high we want the first floor to be so that we can figure out what to do for that setup. I think I want it to do 3 high and the floor be on the 4th. Because I could do 3.5 high because I could do the roof being slabs. So 1, 2, 3. The 4th will be the roof. 4. So this will be the setup for that. And I want it to be sideways logs to break everything up some. So that we don't have just an absolute ton of oak wood for the house. This won't be any professional build by any means, but it's coming along okay. Because I am determined to not use a reference for this and just go off of whatever's in my head, which doesn't go well usually, so we'll see. Am I lined up correctly? I am. We're gonna need a lot of dark oak for this build, so we might have to pause and plant some trees and grow them with bone meal and cut them down real quick. But for now we have enough to last a bit because I did cut down quite a few. And this is going to be a whole separate section, so I don't know what I'll do with this. I think we'll do just like lining up to it in wood, and we'll leave it for now. I'm trying to remember the concepts that I've learned from other videos. Like, I've watched a ton, I used to watch a ton of the old, like, how to upgrade your build videos and stuff like that. So I'm trying to remember some of those tips, and that's why I added some of the... Oh, we're out of dark oak wood in our inventory, aren't we? We are. Ugh. I'm trying to remember, like, to add extra rooms and stuff instead of making it one big area, one big square area like I normally would. Which is a simple tip, you'd think, but for me, with how I used to build all the time, it's not the most simple thing to remember. Looks really good so far. To me, at least. Alright, so then I want the roof to be up here. So I need some birch wood. And I think I'll make it slabs so it's 3.5 tall instead of just 3 tall. Because it won't change much by making it slabs. So let's make a bunch of birch slabs. And set those up so we can start working on the upper areas. I think. Nixie, stop. Hey, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I am completely winging it on this house build, and it's going interestingly, to say the least. Nixie, stop riffing, you're okay. Today is Friday. I always forget that today is Friday. Today feels like a Monday for some reason, so I haven't felt like it's a Friday, so I keep forgetting that it is in fact a Friday. Where's the roof go? Like this. I need to remember how to build this. 3, 1, like this, I think? Good enough. So today is the last foreseeable stream for the week for me, because that's usually where I end off, is every Friday. Especially since this weekend has a bunch planned, or is supposed to have a bunch planned, so it won't be much of a opening to stream much. But I will be back on Monday as usual. I don't know what's going on Sunday, so maybe I'll have some time to stream on Sunday, but I'm not sure. I do have to play off stream a little to get some more supplies and things going for the world. I think I'm going to try to intersperse some more off stream playing. My original determination was to keep all of this, like every single thing that I do on this world, on stream only and not do anything off stream, to be able to have the documentation of it. But it gets a little boring to just have everything on stream, I think, for people to watch. Like, I think it's just kind of getting repetitive for viewers and things like that. So I'll try to do some just like no mic streams that do some tasks so that it still has some of the stuff that's documented, but for the most part I think I'll try to remember to do some more off stream more so than anything else. I need some more birch wood. Hey puppy dog, what doing? I know you're tired, honey. I think we tired her out a little too much with all the stuff that she got to do yesterday. Why does my phone keep going off? Holy hell. Ow. Ow. Surprisingly, she actually did pretty well on the car ride yesterday with just me, which is what I was dreading the most and what she's normally atrocious at. She actually did pretty good. She was a little bit of a nuisance, like she was really pacing for the first bit of it, and she kept coming up front and then the back and up front and the back, which doesn't really, it more so bothers me out of a safety concern than out of like not wanting her in the front. I don't mind if she's in the front. I don't like when she's pacing back and forth because like if I hit the brakes or if I turn, she flops through the whole rig and it concerns me. So it's more so I just don't want her to get hurt when I'm moving around and maneuvering the rig and stuff. So I don't like her to go back and forth. So what I ended up doing was driving one-handed, which I'm pretty used to doing, and then keeping one arm across between the two front seats so that she realized she's supposed to stay in the back, because if she's got to stay one place or the other, the back's better. She has more space to roam, and then she can still get fresh air from the windows because I can turn them all the way down up front without having to worry about her falling or jumping out of them. And she can like put her head out the window from behind the front seat. So to pick one, it would be better for her to be in the back, so I just blocked off the front with my arm, and she figured out pretty quickly where she was supposed to stay. And then she slowly realized calming down and chewing on her toy. Or chewing on her treat that I gave her when we got in, because I gave her one of the really chewy dog treats, hoping that she would take a while to chew through it and it would last, but she didn't notice it until about halfway through the car ride. So it did last for half the car ride when she finally realized it, but the first half she hadn't even realized it was there. I gotta sleep real quick before mobs start spawning on this. And then the car ride back was pretty fine because she was pretty tired, so she just paced a little for a while to try to figure out where she could sleep, and then she fell asleep after a bit. What, puppy dog? And then today she's pretty sleepy, so she's just kind of pacing back and forth on the couch here and there, and then otherwise she just, like, relaxes. She currently is chewing on one of her rope toys that she has, so she's taken that to be a bit of a relaxation point. I don't need birch planks, I need spruce planks. I guess I could do the wood around this one as well, but I just have to do it differently. Do it like this, I guess. It's hard to figure out how to do this part. I don't know. I have a worry that it'll look really stupid when it's actually done, but I really wanted to include this because it's something that I like about actual builds. It's really not going to have much of a purpose besides looking cool. I'm thinking like this so that I can still have the sectioning off of the roof part. I need more. I need another crafting table up here so I don't have to keep getting down now that I'm up here. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna leave this for now because I don't know what I'm gonna do for the sectioning of this and how this is gonna be set up. So let's leave that open for now. So now it's time for the second floor. I'm thinking that this is gonna be a one floor only. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? I think this is going to be a one floor only, so I think I need to add a roof to this and then close off this. Actually, this could be a one floor only and this could be a porch. That would be nice for a second floor porch. So I think we can create like a doorway here, or a wall here at least. I'm doing alright. I'm attempting to build the house for this world, and I'm not exactly a builder, so it's going interestingly, to say the least. I'm struggling through it by talking myself through it, but it'll get finished somehow. We could do a roof on this part, so this is 1 floor only. Actually, this part would look fine as 2 floors. Well, but this is gonna be 2 floors. I can show it in a second. Can I show it in 3rd person? I think so, a little bit. This is the framework so far. This is like the entryway. I'm thinking this is gonna be a porch here. Over here, I'm debating whether it'll be 1 or 2 floors. This is gonna be 2 floors. This whole big section is gonna be 2 floors. So we got at least the framework for the 1st floor done, for like just framework. And now I'm trying to figure out the configuration of the 2nd floor so I can get that framework done and start working on a roof. Because I'd like to get the framework and the roofing done and then work on the walls and the windows and things. Speaking of which, I actually have to start getting some sand and smelt sand down. This will be 2 floors, or a little higher than 2 floors. So I think this will be 1 floor. Hi, puppy dog. What's with the pout? Why are you pouting, puppy? What's you mad at, puppy dog? Nixie, why are you pouting at me? Yeah, I think this will be another separate roof ending here so that we can have a little bit of a breaking up the... Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I can't differentiate this dark oak wood from the dark oak slabs or planks when they're in my hotbar from this far away from my TV, so I keep messing up on what I have. Let's do this. That sounded like my truck, but it's not my truck because my truck is locked and my keys are in here. I was a little concerned someone just started my truck outside magically. I think we'll do a 3 like the roof over there was. Although I guess we could do a little taller. Let's do a little taller. Because then we could use this as an accessory area. I'm not sure yet. This is gonna be a main base for me since I don't have a... Hey, leave the cat alone. Since I don't have a house yet, this is gonna be the main base. We're gonna have like a bunch of different rooms in it, obviously, because it's a big area. It's not gonna be all like open. Some of it will be, but I'm gonna be doing some rooms and things with it. I have to think of different decorative strategies to make sure it's all fully decorated. I'll have to have a bedroom, I'll have to have my kitchen area, I'll probably have a little library type area in it. This whole platform is going to be for builds, this whole grass area here. So there's a lot of builds that I have planned or in my head that I want to do so that it'll be more than just whatever the housing and stuff needs. I'm thinking I'm gonna do it like this, and then I can do a window, because I can put a window right here. There's no worry about any spelling, it's alright. I'm pretty used to figuring out spelling. I don't mind. I think if I put a window there, then I'd have to do one more of the roof. And then we can connect it all. So that the window has a bit of an overhang from the roof. Let's do it like this. It'd be really nice to have scaffolding right now, but I don't. I'm just kind of winging it as I go because I'm really not a builder, so yeah, you can give any ideas. I'm open to ideas. I'm just winging it and hoping that it turns out okay-ish. So it's definitely a work in progress. I'm just trying to remember. So normally with a house like this, what I would do is make A, I wouldn't have these extra rooms, and B, I would make it all one big uniform setup. So like the roof was all of them were 2 floors instead of just doing some of them as 2 floors. Which I like, and I have nothing against it, but I think I'm trying to do something a little different because of the fact that I want to learn to build a little better. How do I get back up here now? Yeah, I'm gonna have to add some pillars in for sure. Thank you for the reminder. I have to add some pillars in for sure to break everything up. But I'm thinking I can add them in when I'm adding in the walls. So that I can, these aren't just all huge open spaces. Because like this doesn't make any sense, obviously, structurally. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this up of the... Yeah, the biggest reason why there's so much different stuff going on with it, as far as like different roofing and stuff, is I just want to challenge myself to do a little bit different of build than I normally would do. I do like how this turned out. So the other thing I'm going to remember for windows, especially second floor windows, is the strategy I did over at the stables, which I have to sleep in a second, but I can show you. The strategy I did over here at the stables that turned out really good for the windows, which I still have to add glass to, is using stairs to make like this little windowsill type vibe. So I think that's what I'm going to do for that back attic window, is do something like this of a framing for it, which I still have to add glass into these. Thank you. Yeah, I know it takes practice. That's why I'm kind of challenging myself on this to not use any references or tutorials. So I'm kind of learning the hard way and making myself actually learn instead of just referring to other things. I know that obviously references and tutorials are used by everyone, so it's kind of a dumb like standard to put myself up to, but I do like it as a way to challenge myself and a way to remind myself to keep practicing. I need scaffolding as well, but oh, this is not thread block. Let's do this. So I think we'll make the second floor the same height, so we just have to make that framework again, and then we can start working on the big roof to work with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then across. So let's fill that in. I know that I definitely would be a lot easier to refer to some references, and I'm not saying anything bad against references. I just, for me personally, if I'm using a reference, I'm gonna just sit there and stare at the reference instead of forcing myself to actually get out of my comfort zone and work on the house from my own mind. So I have to choose one or the other, of either I work from a reference or I challenge myself a little and change it up. So that's what we're doing, is changing it up some. And this is just our home for most things, like having some animals here and our bed here and that sort of thing. We have, I have an idea for a witchy tower somewhere on this platform. I also want to do a library. I also will do a separate storage area. Even though this house does have enough room for a storage area, I will do a separate storage building because I just want to do a cool storage build. And then also I will be doing a separate, let's set up this. I'll also be doing a separate area for, what is this? How do I do this? I'll also be doing a separate area for a lot of the like strategy rooms, like the enchantment, anvil, brewing. All of that is going to have its own sections instead of having to be crammed into this. My dog is wandering around getting her toys and bringing them to the couch and chewing on them. She's very tired. She had a very long day. Oh wait, that's not supposed to go there. Oop. The heck? Up one and then across. There we go. I'm kind of tempted to make this section actually a third floor, or like half of a floor, so that it's a little taller than the rest of the build. I'm not sure how that would translate. Well, there's some framework. My dog is a 10-month-old German Shepherd mix. Her technical mix is a German Shepherd, Vizsla, and Boston Terrier. Don't ask me how it happened. I don't know. The long story is that she was a puppy from a dog that my dad rescued from a house that had way too many dogs. They had a trailer home and they had about 17 dogs in it, and they finally realized that they need to actually get rid of some of their dogs, and so they started getting rid of them for free, and he got a couple of them for free with my Nana, 2 girls, and then they discovered about a month after having them that one of the girls was in fact pregnant, and they didn't know, the people that had given them to him didn't know, so it became a whole conundrum, and she had the puppies on Christmas, and the puppies were a little bit more German Shepherd than the mom because the dad was a full-blood German Shepherd. Because basically what happened at the house that had so many dogs was they started off with a couple dogs, and then they had a male German Shepherd, and he kept getting all of the other dogs pregnant, and then they kept having more puppies, and then they kept keeping some of those litter of puppies, and more puppies would happen, and on and on and on, and then they finally got rid of them, and they didn't realize that one of them was already pregnant when they got rid of them, so he had 6 puppies on Christmas to deal with. So he was getting rid of them really cheap or free to family members to try to like not have to deal with as many puppies. And then we got one of the litter. My Nana and my dad kept one of the litter. Another one went to my mom, another one went to my partner's aunt and uncle, another one went to my uncle, and then the last one went to someone that was a family that had a bunch of dogs, because we didn't have any other family members that wanted them, and they still live semi-close, so we still get updates about them, that one as well. It was 4 girls and 2 boys. My mom has one of the boys, my uncle has the other boy. Nixie, which is my dog, and her sister at my Nana's are the 2 that look the most German Shepherd. They're like all tan with some black. Oh yeah, it was a lot to have 6 puppies all of a sudden. There were 2 that were all tan with some black. There were some brindle colored ones, and then there were some mostly black ones. And now they're about 10 months old, going on 11 months old, and they are absolute handfuls. Granted, German Shepherds are handfuls, so that's kind of what's to be expected. Nixie has been through puppy training, and she's going into intermediate training once we work through some reactivity that she has. She turned into a reactive dog, not in a way of aggression, but she is reactive as far as barking and things. So we are working on training the reactivity and helping her be more comfortable and confident. And she gets plenty of exercise, and she's spoiled, and she has like special food and everything. I can't do raw feeding because I can't afford it, but she does get like really high quality dry food along with toppers and things like that to try to make it as similar quality wise as I can at my budget level. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of about her. She's super stubborn because she is a German Shepherd, but she's also really smart because she's a German Shepherd. So she has a lot of commands that she knows already, along with a couple tricks. She was originally gotten because she was going to be my service dog, because I have a lot of disabilities, and a service animal would really help me with public access and getting more independence. The problem is now she's reactive, which was something that developed really suddenly when she was in training, and we didn't notice it until it was to the point of being really much of an issue. So now we have to work through her reactivity, which we're doing little by little and really carefully so that she can learn the right way instead of just trying to rush her through things. So she won't be getting any public access or any service animal tasks or anything like that until she's worked through her reactivity so that it's not an added stressor for her. Yeah. And she had a lot of exercise yesterday, so she is... yeah, she's a handful. She has a really big bark as well, so she's a little scary of the fact that she's reactive because, like, some people don't like dogs. And having a dog just suddenly start, like, mean barking at you and you don't know why, it's a little scary. I just want to sleep through this rain. So she's spooked a few people here and there because of it, but she's not a danger, and we keep reminding people, like, she's just a puppy, she's under control, I promise, like, she's not gonna hurt you. But I understand being scared. We keep her under control at all times. We don't have her off leash except for at my dad's or in very specific scenarios where she's completely away from people, because of the fact that I don't want to, like, it's not a risk I want to take, and it's also not something I want to do to spook other people. And yeah, she is 60 pounds roughly last we checked, so she's a pretty big girl. She's fun, but she can definitely drag me around, and I'm not light by any means, so it's been a handful to try to work through it, but she's learning, and she will eventually figure things out and be alright with it. Thank you. I'm trying to think how to roof this one. I probably will do a roof that goes this way to cover it so it's a covered porch. But, like, directly over it? I don't know. But yeah, right now she's fairly well behaved. Normally for stream she's a little bit in my face and causing a bit of a ruckus, because she likes to be the center of attention, and she usually is trying to get my attention or trying to be in my face a lot. But because yesterday was a really long day for her, she's pretty sleepy, luckily, and she's mostly calm. For the moment, she's chasing the cat, which she's not supposed to be doing, but she gets away with it a little bit when I'm trying to stream. I think I'm gonna do, like, a fully around one for this porch area. Nixie, come here. Her name is Nyx, after the goddess, and her nickname that we use more often than her name is Nixie, which is after the mythical creature. I like mythology a lot, and I was the one that was allowed to name her, so that's what happened. She was originally gotten because my partner actually wanted a dog, not necessarily I wanted a dog, my partner did. Why he got the choice in the matter, considering he works most of the time and wouldn't be the one taking care of her, I don't know. Not that I don't like her, but it has definitely been a big adjustment period for me to deal with because of my disabilities and because of, like, how much it changes my routine. Like, I can't leave her home alone yet still, because we haven't worked through her separation anxiety enough to leave her home alone. So it's pretty intense. It really changed all of my routine and my life setup. And I'm not necessarily complaining, I love her, but it's been a big adjustment period to deal with. Yeah, pretty much how it is with her. She has really bad separation anxiety, so she can't be left home alone yet. we haven't really done all the working through it to get her to the point where she can be left home alone. And I also don't have a camera to be able to monitor her when she's home alone so that she doesn't get into a bunch of trouble and cause a mess. And because we live in an apartment complex, until she's fully ready to be home alone, I'm not going to do it, because I don't want to risk A, her destroying anything, B, her getting hurt, and C, her making a lot of noise and causing our neighbors to complain, and getting us kicked out. So we haven't really worked on it. But for example, yesterday she's slowly being able to give me a little bit more freedom now that she's to the point where she's starting to mellow out a little. Because she is getting a little easier to go, like, on car rides with me on my own. That's what we did yesterday. Goodness gracious. That's what we did yesterday, was she went on a car ride with me on my own to go do some errands, which she did okay with. So it's slowly getting a little easier to get out and about, but it's still pretty hard. You're welcome to ask. I think it's normally something that most people would want to talk about, but I don't mind. My main disabilities being my mental disabilities. I am diagnosed with depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD. I was just recently put on medication for it. I am underway of getting to a specialist for an autism evaluation, because all of the people that keep evaluating me don't have the qualifications to diagnose me. And I am also under evaluation by my current psychiatrist for borderline personality disorder. So that's the main issues that we know of going on. I'm on a stimulant and on an antidepressant, anti-anxiety med. Those I just barely started, so I don't know if they'll help with the disability part of my mental health. As far as, like, I haven't experienced it in a very long time. Medication is something that does not settle well with my mentality. I'm not one that wanted to do medication, but it's been a pretty hard last few months, and I had to kind of give in. So I just started that about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, something like that. And I have a checkup for that in a week or two, and we'll have my dosage adjusted and figure out what to do with that. And yeah, physical disability wise, I am being assessed for POTS. I have a heart condition going on that makes it pretty rough with long-term getting up and about, or standing up from sitting down, or things like that. I have I don't even know what else. The main symptoms that I have are from the POTS diagnosis, so that's where kind of my main physical disability is. But the main issue was, the main issue for why she was going to be a service animal was my mental disabilities. So I've been going in and out of evaluation processes for the majority of my life. I've been in and out of therapy since, like, age 8. As far as actually discovering what's been going on, I didn't start getting actual diagnostic process until last year. No, not last year, it was earlier than that. It was pandemic-ish, so 2020-ish is when I started actually getting, actually seeking diagnosis so that I can actually progress, because all I've been doing is being in and out of therapy and not getting very much help from said therapy. So I haven't actually been able to progress much or have any real answers and solutions. So the last few years I've been fighting pretty hard to try to be diagnosed and try to get some actual help. And then the last couple months I've been fighting to try to be medicated, because it got to the point where I needed meds. As far as, like, PTSD, my PTSD and my borderline personality disorder developed very early on in my life, like childhood trauma. My depression and anxiety has been ongoing for as long as I can remember. Autism is a lifelong developmental disorder, so if I get evaluated for that, and I do have it, it's something that I've had my entire life, which is why I'm getting evaluated, because it's a struggle I've been dealing with for a very long time. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of for how long that's been. It's been a while. it's been a lifetime, pretty much, for most of them. for actually like needing help and trying to seek out help, it hasn't been nearly as long. I, for the most part, just kind of muddled through my life, hoping that it would get better, and it hasn't gotten better, so we're getting help, which is also why I stream, because my mentality was really rough, and all I could do was barely function and try to play video games. So I was hoping that by making it into something that's a hobby, like streaming, I could get a little bit of productivity out of it, and I could also try to motivate myself to do more than just play video games and not do anything else. So it's slowly trying to be something that's helpful. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this roof. The reason I can ramble about it and I don't mind talking about it is psychology is one of my special interests. I've always been really interested. What, puppy dog? What's your matter, pretty girl? Hey, come here. I've always been really interested. Hi. Hello. I don't need kisses. Hello. What are you doing? What? I don't need kisses. I don't. Psychology and how the human brain works has been a special interest of mine for the majority of my life, and I absolutely love learning about it, so I don't mind divulging my own psychology because I know other people like learning about it, and also I'm just not one to really care about talking about it, so yeah. What are you doing, puppy? What? But before, thank you. It's alright. I am 20 now, so it's been a minute. I'm pretty used to it. I'm working through it. The antidepressant is supposed to help. Stimulant's supposed to help. We'll see. As much as she is a handful, the puppy dog does help, as well as my other animals. They're definitely something that keeps me going. As much as I like, if I could go back, I really probably wouldn't have the puppy dog. Not because I don't like her, but just because it was such a stark change to my routine that it really put me into burnout stage. So if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have her, but now I am actually kind of glad that I have her. We've fallen into a routine, and she keeps me waking up at a normal time and getting a routine done and getting things moving and taking care of myself and taking care of something else, so. And she does no pressure, which helps with my anxiety. I think she knows I was getting a little out of breath from over rambling because she's doing her pressure therapy right now for me, which is what she does when I'm out of breath or when I'm anxious. What's the guess what? Hey, puppy. I'm taking a break for a second to pet the puppy dog because she's across my lap. And she doesn't do this very often. What are you doing, puppy dog? What is it, baby? Also, thank you for the follow. I'll have to set a goal for 30 followers since we're getting close to it. I set a goal for 25 that we managed to hit, and I'll have to set a goal in the stream for 30. I don't know what we'll do for 30 followers. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love streaming, honestly. Like, as much as it wasn't something that I planned to do originally, it was just kind of something that I happened upon. I really do love streaming. It's really nice to be able to chat with people and tell people about random things and hear about other people's day. Every Monday we do a mental health stream because I think that you should start off your week right, and getting things off your chest helps with that. So every Monday I do a mental health stream where everyone is welcome to vent or talk about anything or ask for advice or any of that that they need at the time. And yeah, I love playing games anyways as a mental health help, so it helps to be able to also have some other people to share that with. I think we're gonna close this off here with just a 2 high. Nixie, what are you doing, honey? You went away. Where are you? We have some other animals in the house as well that you might hear in the background once in a while. Lou mainly is only heard when she's in heat because she runs around the house meowing. It's kind of you, thank you. I am working on it little by little. I don't think we have enough to do much more layers and we have to go sleep, so let's go sleep. We have other animals in the house as well that will, once in a while, be known of. You'll never know about my caged animal, he's always upstairs. I mean, I talk about him, but, like, he wouldn't create a scene on stream or anything. The only other animal that creates a scene during my stream is Lou, who is my almost 2-year-old cat. She is a black and white tuxedo cat. She is 2 years old in December. We finally got her scheduled to be fixed, so she's getting fixed in late December. She only really makes any noise if she is in heat or if the dog is after her. And we have to get her fixed because she was spraying around the house when she was in heat and making a mess, and it was not good, so hopefully getting her fixed will help that. She's wandering around somewhere here. She's a really small cat, so she just kind of exists here and there. Where is the rest of my dark oak? Am I out of dark oak? I am. We're gonna have to plant some dark oak. Thank you. I'm actually really interested and into streaming now. I started it off as just like, oh, whatever, I'll do it because, like, I can, and it was a thing that I could do straight through. What? It was a thing that I could do straight through the PlayStation 4, so it made it easy to do. And then I realized really quickly, like, holy crap, we actually have 20 people that, like, listened to my stream at some point in time and thought it would be interesting to follow me. And yeah, so I just kind of stream for the fun of it and to see how far I can go with it. I've been really interested in a lot of the different achievements and things that are a part of the Twitch world, so I've been keeping an eye on those, but for the most part it's just here to be a thing that we can have fun with and that I can provide something for someone else. I know a lot of, like, my comfort streamers and, like, having streams on in the background and things like that really helped me when I was in a bad mental place, so I'm glad to be able to have that ability to do that for someone else, you know? Like, I have quite a few followers that have a lot of similar struggles or a lot of struggles, and being able to kind of just talk to someone and have someone talk back and or just listen to things in the background while you're functioning and doing your daily life is really nice sometimes, so that's what I'm here for. Grow. And the puppy dog is fine. She's just whining because it's getting close-ish to when her time to go out is, and she knows it, so she starts to whine a little early to try to get out earlier, but she's fine. She gets let out at noon and at 3, and it is currently 2:25, so she gets let out in about a half hour, and she knows it. Because I was out so long yesterday, it feels like it's a Monday instead of being a Friday, because I'm normally not out that long on Thursdays. Thursdays are normally like a stay-home day. Interestingly enough, if you were able to take care of an animal, emotional support animals are actually things that can be obtained fairly easily, like if you have a therapist or a doctor. So the biggest thing that people say, I can get on a ramble about this, but the biggest thing that people say about emotional support animals online I see all the time is, oh, just register your animal as an emotional support animal, like all those sites that are like, oh, you can pay me $50 to have an emotional support animal. And it's like, that's not how the actual legality of it works. Emotional support animals, which is what my cat and my ferret are animals that provide you some sort of comfort and help with your disabilities, but they do not do any tasks, and they do not have to be trained, and they do not have the right to be in public spaces where pets aren't allowed. They're still classified as a pet. The only difference is that they are allowed to be in your housing. So if you have a house that is, for example, no pets, having an emotional support animal written off means that you can still have that pet there. The setup and process for emotional support animals is that you have a doctor or a therapist, any professional, that can say this animal provides emotional support for you and you need it in your housing to be able to function as a human. And they write like a specific letter about it, and then that letter is your qualification that you have a emotional support animal, and that tells renters or homeowners or whatever you're dealing with that this animal is required to be non-discriminated against. So they can, for example, not let you into the house because you don't meet the other requirements of the lease, but they can't not let you into the house just because you have a cat type of thing, or just because you have a dog. It also means that they can't have a weight restriction on it, because a lot of places will have weight restrictions for what dogs you can have. It also means that they can't charge you pet rent on it, that sort of thing. And it's really simple. It is literally just a letter. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying the technicality behind it, because a lot of people don't actually know the technical regulations behind it. But again, the biggest difference is an emotional support animal is not a service animal. They are simply there to provide you support. They're not there to provide you tasks and service, which means that they can be in housing and sometimes on airlines with you in the cabin of the airline, although that is getting restricted because a lot of people were abusing that and bringing animals that weren't well behaved onto planes because they were emotional support animals, and it caused a lot of issues. And they are not allowed into, for example, grocery stores where service animals are allowed, because they don't have to be trained, and they're not providing anything besides comfort. There's a lot of big misconceptions about both service animals and emotional support animals in our country, or in the US, and around the world, but specifically in the US, because there's a lot of entitled people that think they can bring their animals anywhere, and the laws don't apply to them, and then their animals attack or distract service animals that are doing their job and cause a lot of issues. So again, I apologize for the ramble. I'm really interested in topics like that. But yeah, emotional support animals actually can be for absolutely anyone. So if it's something that like you really need or something that you really want to look into, you can likely ask your doctor or a therapist, if you have a therapist, about it, and be like, hey, I really think an emotional support animal would help me. Like, how would that process work? And chances are they know quite a bit about it already, since it's a pretty common part of their job, and they can tell you how the process would work and if you would be able to get a letter from them for it, which is pretty cool. The reason that my ferret is my emotional support animal is because when I was moving, I was talking to my therapist, and I was explaining that a lot of places that we were looking into for moving were not allowing any animals, and at the time I had 2 ferrets, and I was like, I physically cannot live without them. I will not get rid of them. That's not something that I can compromise. I would be in a major detriment mentally if I had to get rid of them, because I physically cannot stand the stress of like not knowing where they are and if they're getting the right quality of life. So because I was explaining all of that, and she and I both determined that it would be worse for my anxiety and my other conditions to not have them than it is to like have them. She helped me to have a letter for them to be emotional support. Since then, one of them has passed, and technically I could get a second one because 2 are written off as emotional support animals, but really I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna manipulate that. And then I just have the 1 left for now. And then my cat had to be an emotional support because our apartment wasn't going to let her in, and we had already had her beforehand, and my therapist and my doctor both were like, cats are very good for you, like they've always been something that's important. So we ended up writing off Lucy as a emotional support as well. And then Nyx was supposed to be a service animal, which is why she's allowed in the apartment. So she's written off as a service animal on my apartment's records, but she is a service animal in training, not a service animal because of the reactivity. So yeah, given that you're homeschooled, it would be actually a little bit easier to take care of an animal, but I understand, like, it's obviously not something that everyone can pursue. But as far as just being at home and having a support animal, having an emotional support animal can be really helpful for people with depression, especially especially in the case of depression. For the most part, like, cats are really good because cats are actually really good for absorbing that energy and not returning it back to you. The best analogy of that I can talk about is so if you've ever been around dogs, you've probably noticed that dogs will often mimic the behavior of their owner. So if you're stressed, your dog is likely acting stressed. And they don't do that to make you worse, but they do it because they care about you and your energy puts them off. Versus cats, for the most part, as people always say, don't care. Cats, when you're depressed, will still be the exact same, if not be a little bit more comforting because they know that you're depressed. So cats are really good for depression and anxiety because they don't return that energy to you. They actually just are there to comfort you or to annoy you or just to be there. They're not there to act the same way that you are, because if you're really anxious and your dog starts acting really anxious, it's not exactly that helpful. So granted, not all dogs act like that and not all dogs mimic it. That's why dogs are also service animals in cases of anxiety and depression, but for the most part, as far as just wanting some support and not actual, like, service animal, cats are really great for that sort of issue because they don't care. They're just there for you. Like my cat that I had for the longest time, whenever I was upset or depressed or crying, he would always just hang around and lay on me or lay on my stomach, or if I was laying on my back, he would lay on my back. Or if I was laying on my stomach, he would lay on my back. If I was laying on my back, he'd lay on my stomach. And he was always just kind of hanging around whenever I was upset, and just kind of having the presence because he knew that I was upset. So it's really interesting. The reason that emotional support animals are an entire concept is because people realized, both scientifically and mentally, that animals have a really big impact on how we are able to function. That's why college kids have emotional support animals. That's why a lot of people that struggle with mental health have emotional support or service animals. It's there because they help, and they are really great for a lot of different disorders and for helping with things. There's a whole different classification of animals that are service animals for PTSD or support animals for PTSD. There's a lot of different cases and even proven cases of it. Actually, one of the first suggestions that my primary care doctor had when we were dealing with the original outcropping of my symptoms getting worse in the last few years was to get a dog, because he thought it would really help with a lot of my executive function issues. Hi baby, what are you doing? And help me to have some purpose outside of just myself to exist for, which is why he was actually really on board with the idea of a service animal. So yeah, I apologize if the rambles are getting really far. I'm trying to stop myself, but I really love rambling about things on the topic of emotional support, service animal, psychology, all of that. That is one of my favorite topics to talk about, so I get pretty into it. But Nixie is whining in the background because she wants to go out, but she can't go out for a little longer. We have a routine that I'm trying to teach her because she is a puppy dog and she can still learn the routine. So, and also to the point of when she starts being home alone more, we'll have to have a routine so she's not, like, going to the bathroom inside on accident or anything. So that's why we have a little routine for her. But yeah. But yeah, as far as actual experience of things, that's all I can speak on is personal experience. That's why I have the emotional support and service animal write-offs that I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm faking things, which is what everyone feels like at times, because I'm like, oh my god, I have so many, like, write-offs for emotional support and service animal, like, how is that legit? And it's like, well, I had talks with both my doctor and my therapist about it beforehand and during it, and both of them constantly agree that it is something that's helping me. And B, it takes a lot of kind of reconstructing my own mental habits to be able to allow myself that sort of comfort and that sort of accessibility in my life, I guess. Is this the one that I want? This is the one that I want. Actually, I don't want this one yet. I want to use some of my other ones that are efficiency 1. Hey, welcome back. It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing? I am just on a ramble about emotional support and service animal and mental health stuff because you know me, I always ramble about it, so. But yeah, that's what's the update about that I can say. The only thing that irks me, and the reason why I got on a ramble about it, is that a lot of people have really big misconceptions about the entire topic. Like, a lot of people will think that emotional support animal means it can go into a grocery store, or service animal means that you can just go online and register it as a service animal and take it into every store with you, even when it's not trained. And things like that, which is really bothersome because that's not how that works, and it's actually really a danger for other people and for health risks and for other service animals in the area and things like that. For example, at my local Walmart, I've seen plenty of people doing stuff like that where they bring in animals that are not supposed to be in the store, and you can very much so tell, and the problem is that a lot of people don't know that you can't bring non-service animals into like grocery stores, or they think that you can't ask them to leave, and then they get in a big argument about it, so the stores won't ask either. For example, Walmart as a whole just refuses to actually enforce any service animal regulations, so it's a whole mess. Like, I've seen animals in my local Walmart that literally could pull the person to the ground, and have pulled the person to the ground because they want to go after something, and that's really dangerous. Like, if that animal that is untrained decides that it wants to go somewhere, it's going somewhere, and the person can't stop it, and then you have someone that's injured or at risk because of it, and it's not okay. So I'm alright. How are you? Oh, I already said how are you. I'm on repeat. I'm doing alright. I'm just on a ramble today. And building some stuff. I gotta finish this, which is why I'm cutting down all these trees. We definitely need to talk about adjusting my medication dosage, because I am very much so on high energy at times, and it's interesting. But yeah, the reason that I was just getting into that is because it's a topic that really interests me, and that also really applies to me because of the fact that I would be bringing a service animal into places once I have her trained, so the misconceptions can be really harmful for people, and it's fun to be able to talk about them and have other people be a little educated about it. As little as I can do in my sphere of the universe. That's cool. Have you been playing again? I'm building a house. Or at least trying to. I keep getting distracted with getting more supplies. But I'm hoping at least I can have the structure base for it before the end of the stream today. I ran out of dark oak, so. Yeah, that's how that always works. You always spend all the effort on something and then realize you don't really want to use it. Like, the fact that I spent all that time downloading The Sims 4 and I still haven't touched it since that first stream because it was really confusing and overwhelming to change all the controls from The Sims 3 over to The Sims 4. So I haven't played it again since. It's just been sitting on the PlayStation. Let's get this going. Let's do this level. Yeah, that's a lot of effort for fixing it just to forget it exists, but I can't blame you, I do the same thing. I don't know how this roof is going. So my concept with the roof is I don't want to do it all 4 sides because I think it'd look really obnoxious. I'm trying to do it just on 2 sides and then have them join together, but I don't know where I want them to join together because I don't want them to be super tall. Yeah, it's really late for you. Get some sleep. Thank you for coming in to visit and to update me. Sleep well. How am I gonna connect these, though, is the thing. Because I don't want to have a super flat roof, but at the same time, like, this is already getting pretty high of a roof. I don't want to do them all the way up to a point, because I think that'll be too high. I'm thinking probably this height, honestly. What height is this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do it so that both sides are 4 high of planks before the, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Thank you for adding to it. So that it's the same level as the other one, so I can, or as the other floors, so that I can do a floor worth of it. Let's do it this high, and then let's connect it all. Nixie, what are you doing? Puppy dog. It's your puppy dog. Oh, I know, big yawns. I am losing my voice a little today because I got into a yelling match yesterday, and because my allergies act up after having a whole day outside. So my voice is a little scratchy at times, but which is why I'm kind of staying in my lower range of voice for the most part and trying to keep my voice calm. It helps it stay a little less scratchy by doing it that way. Now the problem is the turret, though. The little circular area over there. I need to sleep. Yeah, I was doing okay until yesterday. Yesterday was a really long day of being outside, so it's getting my voice pretty scratchy. And it was a interesting day as far as I got into a yelling match with the neighbor because he decided to be not minding his business, and I'm a little angry sometimes. So that's a bit of a story, but yeah, that didn't help my voice at all. So, and I forgot that I have to stream today, so I didn't consider my voice. Hey, Nixie, the hell? You know that's the cat's post. Leave that alone. Leave that alone. It's not meant to support your 60 pounds. It's only meant to support her little, like, 10-pound body. Hi, baby. Hi. I don't need face kisses. I don't need face kisses. Hello. Yes, hello. Hello. Yes, that's my microphone. The microphone doesn't need your kisses and whines either. What? No. That's one thing I adore about this dog, is she's a really chatty dog. She's always making noise. The whining bugs me, but, like, besides her whining, she's always doing, like, little funny noises and whirs and everything else under the sun. Like, when my partner gets home from work, she'll run around doing little whirs and being all excited and making noise. It's funny. We're making progress, though, on the build. It's not time yet. Come here. Don't go over to the door and stare at me. Come here. For the most part, I know where she is when we're in the apartment because it's all pretty open, but she always likes to go behind the couch where I can't see her and get into trouble, so. Now I have to figure out how to do the roofing for the turret area over here, because I was gonna do it, I think I'm just gonna do it as a circular roof, like do it all the way around it. Ooh, that is a difficult one. I love music very much so. Music is definitely like a big motivator and savior of my mental health. I can actually probably read off a lot of my music taste at some point on stream, because I have like 1,000 songs on my Spotify playlist. Currently, my favorite artists probably fall along the lines of like 3 Days Grace, Corpse, Clinton Kane. Who else have I been listening to lately? I've been listening to a lot of old school Nickelback again. Right now, though, there's one song that I've been playing on absolute repeat. It's Just Pretend by, I think, Bad Omens. What's the band name? I'm finding it on my playlist real quick so I can say. Just Pretend by Bad Omens is a song that has been on absolute repeat lately. Same thing with No Apologies by Papa Roach, because I just saw Papa Roach in concert this year, so I've been obsessed with his music again, and he's also been coming out with some really good newer music. So that's some of the music taste preview of what I like to listen to. So yeah, the Just Pretend was actually something that I found because of, I think, a TikTok video that I got really obsessed with because it's a really fun auditory stim. I really like the sound of the music and of their song itself, so I've been listening to it pretty non-stop. I have over 1,000 songs in my Spotify playlist, but I also have a few subset playlists that are for like when I'm listening to certain things on repeat, which also changes because I really love to just absolutely listen to a song until I cannot anymore and then changing songs. So I could probably actually, for 30 followers, look up like all of my Spotify data and like what my most listened to artists are and stuff to be able to talk about it. That'd be fun, I think. I'm trying to build this up so that I can build the right roofing for it. I have not. I listen to a lot of random artists from people that have recommended me to them, but I have not heard of that artist or song, interestingly. Hello, why is this not connecting? There we go. I have heard of the artist Little Peep, but I haven't listened to most of his songs, no. I have heard of him, though. Enough to roughly know his genre, but not enough to know much about the artist itself. Oh geez, 1 second. Jeez. Coughing fit. Yeah, I have heard of Little Peep. I have not listened to any of his songs. I have quite a few friends that listen to that sort of genre, but I haven't gotten into it myself much besides like a little bit by X and people like that. Trying to process names at the same time as doing this. Trying to figure out how to blend these together. Weird to try to fit these two roofing styles together. I think that's good enough to fit them together. I probably should have done a different color roof for the circle one down here, but it's fine. Yeah, X and Juice WRLD, I've listened to some of theirs, but I haven't listened to a lot of them, and I haven't really gotten into their music as a whole. Not as a, like, on purpose avoiding it, I just genuinely didn't end up coming across it a lot in what I listen to personally and in what I come across on my listening and on my Spotify. I have a few of their songs, partially because of someone that I really care about and used to listen to them. And then, other than that, I haven't really found many. I definitely want to listen to them, like, from the little snippets I've heard on, like, TikTok videos and on some of my other friends' playlists and stuff like that. It's not anything that I don't like of a genre, it's just not something that I personally ended up finding on my playlist and really seeking out to listen to is all. Let me get up here. Yeah, so let's just make this how am I going to do the edge of the roof here? I know I can do this as like the main block here, but I don't know how I'm going to do the edge here to connect everything. I can probably actually in a second read off my favorites from my Spotify, because that kind of gives a general idea of what the things that I listen to the most on repeat are. They're not all of my on repeat songs, and some of them I'm not currently listening to, but it does actually give a decent idea of what my generalized music taste is. My music taste is pretty all over the place. I have a lot of picked up songs from my childhood or from people that I care about that introduce songs to me and stuff like that. But my generalized, if I have a choice most of the time, tends to be somewhere in the realm of alternative or alt-rock, if I had to label it, along with some older, like, 90s music and things. I grew up with a lot of the 90s rock, 90s and early 2000s rock, so that's kind of what I gravitate towards. I have heard of that, but I haven't actually listened to it. I have heard of it because I know it popped up on a couple playlists of my friends. You're always welcome to suggest any songs or anything. Like, I definitely will always, like, I can definitely write down songs and, like, remember to actually go listen to them after I'm streaming and stuff like that, because I love listening to new music suggestions, so I'm always open to new suggestions and ideas. Which one's the one that's for? This one. Understandable. I feel like this is gonna look bad because of the fact that that's a different... Oh, jeez, I just fell right off my roof. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna go sleep and then I'll figure it out. B. I should be, like, going to trade with the villagers here and there while I'm doing this build, so that I can max out their trades and then let them reset while I'm still building type of thing. But I didn't think of it, and I was trying to really hyper-focus on finishing the build. Because I only really am going to stream for maybe another 10 minutes or so, probably. Although I guess I could stream until he gets home today, because I don't have anything else to do. I'd actually probably just stream till he gets home. For perspective on my music taste, since you're interested, I will read those in a second. Let me find them. Let me get back up to my roof, though. Okay. I will remember it, and I will remember the other ones you're mentioning as well, because I like listening to new songs, so... So here's my conundrum. How am I going to finish off this roof? Because I have to finish off the edging somehow. I don't know how to tie it in. Let me do this and then get over to that side and then do the same thing. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm finally getting it done. We have been on this world for ages, and I have not actually completed a house. Considering this is what episode... What episode is it today? What episode is it today? Today is episode 26, I think? I don't know. I can't see my title. I think episode 26 or so. So each episode is at least an hour long, usually 2 hours long. So we're over 40 hours into this world, roughly, and I still don't have a house until now, so yeah. Thank you. So yeah, 26. So we're over 40 hours into the streams for this, into this world. Plus any off-stream time that isn't counted in that. So, it's been a while in the making to finally have a house. I'm trying to think of how to get the roof finished off in a way that looks right. Because I don't like the way it looks right now as far as finishing it off. I can't reach that. There we go. Because this is all empty here. I guess I could bring the roof higher. How does it look from the bottom? Nixie, shush. Shush. Car doors are allowed to exist outside the apartment, you know that. Let me look at it from the ground and see if I want to carry it any higher. Actually, I think bringing it to the point wouldn't be that bad. I think bringing it up to a point wouldn't be bad. We'd have to add some extra buildings and stuff on the side to make it not quite so squared off. Like maybe add a 3-floor one that's right off the front here or something. With a separate roof. Or a 2-floor one off the front here. I think I'm going to bring the roof to a point, and then I'm going to add some extra rooms and roofs to make it a little bit broken up. Like how we have this breaking it up, we have that breaking it up, we have the back one breaking it up. We can do one right across here, so like right lining up with this post line here. I can't reach that, but lining up here basically. So that there's a post all the way here, and then do I have oak planks? And then do out this one far, and then do it over till about the middle here. I was gonna do a porch here anyways, so I can do like a glass porch type of thing. What's the middle of these? Let's add some posts so that I know what I'm doing. I would love to play with other people, but I do not have the ability to because I do not have PlayStation Plus. I apologize. Yeah, that post looked good. So then let's add extra posts in the middle of the two. So how far across is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I'm thinking like Honestly, though. Trying to think of how to do this. I think I like having the open space up there, so maybe do like a porch here. That goes like this, maybe? Or actually goes out a little further than the entryway, so it doesn't hit into the entryway. Like this, and we could have a side door to it right here. Actually put it one more out so I can have a middle side door right here. Okay, I know it looks wonky, but let me finish doing this so I can show you what I mean, and then it'll make sense. I know it looks wonky right now. I get that. My thought is do a glass porch right here, like a room with a bunch of windows, and I can have an entry door right here so that I have two entryways next to each other, and then I can make it be like 1.5 floors tall so that it breaks up this area a little. I'm not sure though, so what I'm gonna do is finish off the upper roof and then I'll see if I need to break it up more, okay? Let's finish the upper roof. Let's start with that before I start brainstorming too much. Yeah. Let me finish off the upper roof before I start brainstorming too much and confuse myself. Let's get up here. I think I can get up there from this side better. Yes, I know a water bucket would be easier, but I just keep doing this anyways. Let's make this a line of stairs so that it makes sense. Yeah, there we go. That blends those two roofs better. I know, puppy dog, it's such a rough life, huh? Let's finish off this part. This is a lot bigger of a house than I was originally planning, but that's what happens when you make a big base and you're making it more than one floor, so it is what it is. Let's actually just do this. Oh, not the right thing. I keep confusing myself. Oh, I need more, that's why. Ah! Falling off my own roof, gotta love it. I need to pay attention to where I'm walking. Okay, let's do this. It's definitely going to be a big house regardless because of the fact that I made it so big as a base, but that's fine because I can do a bunch of decoration on it over time. And with the fact that this is a long-term survival world, I want it to be really big and extravagant instead of just being something tiny. This is actually one of the, if not the biggest, houses I've built on my own in a very long time, especially with this much detail and actual structure to it. The last time I built a house this big was probably back in the era of just building straight up bricks of houses that were this big with no posts and no breaking up anything and no dimension to it. That era of building, which wasn't that long ago. Oh, actually it was, because I haven't built just giant brick, like giant square houses in a very long time, or rectangular houses in a very long time. Okay, let me go sleep before mobs start spawning. Can I get down from here? Let me get down. take a little fall damage, it's fine. I really don't want mobs to start spawning inside or on top of this house, so I'm like rushing to my bed. Whoa, sleep. Okay, so what I was going to say about my music taste as well. Right now, my top 3 recently saved are Go to Hell by Clinton Kane, My Own Worst Enemy by Lit, which is a throwback, Just Pretend by Bad Omens, No Apologies by Papa Roach, One More Day With You by Clinton Kane, Bulletproof Love by Pierce the Veil, Don't You Dare Forget the Sun by Get Scared, A Love Like War by All Time Low, 14 by Clinton Kane, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, Chicken Tendies by Clinton Kane. There's a pattern. I listen to a lot of Clinton Kane. Miss Missing You by Fall Out Boy, and Masterpiece by Motionless in White. I still have a lot more in my favorites, but of course, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again soon. I will be streaming again on Monday. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for all the chats and the help with the advice on the build. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let me finish this roof. I definitely need to make some other side videos as well, of videos for uploading to the YouTube channel, the VODs channel, for like background information on me as a streamer, on some of my interests, on like music taste or animals or things like that. I'm going to make one of the like 3D animated avatars that move with your camera tracking to make some videos with for the channel, because I don't mind having my face attached to this channel. Like, you can go see my public YouTube channel from my about section, not from my about section, from the links to channels. It's one of them is the VOD channel, one of them is just YouTube. The one that's just YouTube is my public YouTube channel that I've had for I don't even know how long, that has my face attached to it. So I'm not trying to be faceless or anything, it's just like, because I already don't have a face attached, I want to keep it that way on the VOD channel. So I want to add some like way to have a faceless content, which I think the easiest way to do that is to do like kind of a VTuber type thing with an animated character, but I don't have the ability to do that yet, so I have to like figure out how I'm gonna set it up and make some videos with it so that I can do some more introductory videos using that, which will be useful. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's get back up here. We are going through a ton of dark oak, that's for sure. Oh, I thought I was gonna miss the jump and I didn't miss it, so I made myself miss it. Whoopsies. Let's do it across here. Can we make this jump? I don't think so, but I'm gonna try. I can, haha. Ah! I don't even know if I'll need the porch really to break things up. It's just kind of like, it looked like it might need it to break things up. I'll see when I'm done with this roof for sure. I gotta bring this side up higher to meet with this with the other side. Oh hush puppy, you're okay. I also need to actually remember to utilize clips more for when I'm talking about the animals or talking about my schedule or talking about like my music taste and stuff. I can use some clips to clip it and upload it to the channel, to the VODs channel as separate clips of like information about me. I did that for the introduction that I did a long time ago during a stream. But that's the only one that I've clipped that I've kept. Clips are also confusing to make because it doesn't like clip the way that I want it to, so it's a little annoying. It's hard to figure out the system of how the clips work. Actually, I don't think I want to do this final point. I think I just want to do it as a plank and an upside down stair. And then I can do it right side upstairs as a little accent. And then I can probably do slabs across it to connect everything. I guess I could actually do one more level of stairs across here, if I have enough. I'm running low on dark oak wood, and I'm right at the very end of it, so I'm trying to make it work. I need my axe back. And I don't think I want to do slabs, I'll just do a few torches across here. This is such a tall roof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4. 2. I can't have other people joining in, like this is pretty much all it is for watching me play. You're always welcome to stay on the stream and watch me play, but like I don't have any other, this is watching me play essentially is what I mean. I don't have any other way of like connecting with people. Okay, so we finished that part of the roof, so let's look and see how we want to break it up, if at all. Honestly, I think it looks fine from the front as is. I think, like, adding the... I want to add the, like, porch idea that I have, but I think this is a bit big to do it that way. You know what? I think I will do this. Do I have my birch? I don't have my birch. Let me go get some birch and fill in this floor. I know it's kind of wonky, but I think it'll look good. In my head, at least. I didn't mean to sound snarky about that. I just genuinely, like, I have no other way of having people join into the world. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Some of which are Minecraft. I want to also start playing other games. Right now I'm maining Minecraft. I also have Minecraft Dungeons, but I haven't played it in a while. I also stream sometimes on the weekends or on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also want to have a day set aside pretty soon to do a much longer stream, like to do most of a day instead of just 2 or 3 hours. But I don't know when that'll be and when I'll have the time to set that aside. So that'll depend on what happens in the future. I need more dark oak wood. I also have to set a goal for 30 followers for what I'm going to do at 30 followers because we are getting pretty close to that, which is crazy and cool. Is that dark oak? Yeah. Where's my slabs? I need more of them. There we go. Whoa, what did I just make? A button. Alright. I accidentally double-clicked something and I was like, what did I just make? Oh, just a button. Alright. Fair enough, I guess. So let's make this the same height as... Oop. Let's make this the same height as the rest of it. Let's go over this way. Okay, so let's make this. Hopefully by the end of this stream we'll have finished the framework of the house. I'm almost done. I'm just adding extra bits and pieces of what I want to add things of. Like, this is going to be a little sun porch type of build that I'm adding in. And otherwise, it'll be pretty much done. I think I'll add in staircases before I finish it off fully. And then I have to start working on the walls over time, which will take a bit. And I'll have to add some lighting in. I have to go sleep before mobs start spawning. Please let me finish this floor before mobs start spawning. Sleep time. Put this away, put some extra wood away. Put away the button because I don't need it right now. I don't know, I think today has been a pretty productive stream. We have a very good framework going for the house. I can almost say that I finished all the roofing and framework as soon as I finish the roof on this. Let's do this one as a different style than the rest. Do it as a fully around one, because I don't want to have it be all the same. I can probably up there somewhere add one of the little like roof windows where the roof sticks out a little to fit a window in. And maybe add in a chimney as well. But that's later on when we're finishing with the decorative, once we're doing like walls and stuff. For now I just want the basic roofs, the basic chimney. I can always cut things, or the basic roofs, the basic like framework. I can always cut things out if I need to or change it, but for now I want it to at least be in place of basic idea of what it is type of thing. That's the wrong thing. I don't want that. I want planks. Do I have planks? Decorative planks. Let's make a bunch more. Alrighty. I'm just making things. I just want to finish this roof at least and see how it looks. Maybe just a 2-high roof, to be honest. What's the 2-high roof look like? I think the 2-high roof looks fine, so I don't think I'll do the 3rd layer that I started on. Let's also toss some torches down on this layer. I'm going to toss some torches down on each layer for now, just to kind of spam light it up so that there aren't any mobs that'll spawn when I'm not paying attention. Let's just do a 2-high roof. So let's just fill this in. Oop. I keep placing the wrong thing. I can't differentiate between the planks and the logs when they're in my hotbar, because I sit pretty far away from my TV screen, so I can't really see very well, especially since I already have to wear glasses anyways. So, okay, let's finish this roof and let's see what it looks like. Hi, puppy dog, what you doing? And let's add some torches to make sure we won't have any mobs spawning. Something like that, I guess. It don't gotta be perfect. I just want it to be semi-even of alignment. There we go. Alright, let's spam down some torches on the level here. Let's also go open up that attic space and put torches down, because if I don't, there's definitely gonna be mobs spawning there. Like, there's no way there won't be mobs there. The attic space up here that's closed off. And we'll also have to lay down a roof up here, so I need some birch And I need to get up here and light it up before I have issues. How do I get up there in a place that I can actually build in? Do I not? The heck? Do I not have a way to get up there? I thought I did. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Because there's no way there's not going to be mobs up there if I don't fill it in with some torches. There's probably actually already mobs that tried to spawn up here, since it is pretty dark and enclosed. Okay, let's make some more torches. And just spam down a few up here so that we can make sure there's no mobs spawning. Alright, let's go get some birch and make this flooring here. And then let's see what it looks like. Birch, birch, birch. I do have to take the puppy dog out soon. She relaxed for the moment, so I'm letting her sit for a bit before I mention it again. I have more slabs, right? Yes, I do. I'll also probably need some more birch logs. Cow! Dead. It's a good thing we use dark oak, though, because dark oak is much easier to obtain in high quantities like what we have been needing to use. This is single-handedly the largest project that I have worked on my own and completely done without a reference in my entire Minecraft career. I don't usually build very large houses. Large houses is usually my partner's thing or other people that I'm playing with, because I usually just build whatever I need to barely have, like a bedroom and maybe some decorative stuff, and that's it, if that. Or I just move into other people's houses. So this is an accomplishment. I'm going to leave it open enough to get these little makeshift staircases around for movement. Just because it helps with keeping the way of getting up and down. This is much more intricate than I originally planned, but I actually quite like that it turned out this way, I think. I think this leaves it so I can still get in and out. I definitely will have to light up this floor that I'm making, because there will be mobs that will want to spawn. So I originally was only going to have 2 floors and I ended up with like 4 floors, but that's fine. We can make use of it all, or at least decorate it all. It'll take quite a while to decorate it. That'll probably be an entire stream on its own, because of all the different items that I'll have to collect for decoration blocks and all of the different ideas I'll have to do and that sort of thing. Ah! What am I running into? Oh, my makeshift staircase. Let's take that out. I have a recurring problem of forgetting that I, in fact, saw your controller battery is getting low notification until after my controller dies. It's also because the controller changes how long it lasts every single time that I use it. because we're trying to recharge it and get it to actually work the length that it's supposed to again, which is a process. We keep like double charging it, or I mean like using like the double fast charger, or the faster charger. Why am I running all the way over here? I have a crafting table right here. We keep using the faster charger to try to get it to jolt the battery life a little, since the battery's been consistently giving up on life much faster. For example, before we started using the faster charger on it, it was only lasting maybe an hour at a full charge, and this time it lasted a total of 2.5 hours roughly before it died. So it's slowly getting better. It just takes time and effort to get it to work itself right. Let's do fill in here. Let's put down some torches. I know these torches are placed poorly. I don't particularly care right now. I'm just trying to make sure that mobs aren't going to spawn. And I'm used to the old school where they will spawn in like any tiny bit of altered level of light. So I think we should probably put a pillar right down through the center of the whole house, honestly. Although I do like the open windows. Maybe we'll do something up there differently. Honestly, with how many windows we're going to have, I don't think we need to have these end places open for windows. I think we can just fill it in. We can probably even use it as a torch spot. Like, put a torch right here. And put a torch right here. And then do the same thing on this side. Oop, that's the wrong place to put the links. Right here. And it is nighttime. Well, let's hope that nothing's going to spawn inside our house. I didn't mean to wait this long before I slept. This is a decent test of our light levels on accident. Let's quickly go sleep. I do have to bring the dog out. It's actually almost time for him to be home, so I'm going to just mute my mic and go bring her out real quick. Okay, I'm back. I think I'm just gonna keep streaming until after my partner gets home. Normally I don't do that during the week because usually I have something to do immediately after he gets home, but I don't think I have anything to do immediately after he gets home. Hey, welcome, how are you? I don't think I have anything to do after he gets home, so I think I can just stream until he gets home. I also want to show him the world, so I think I'll just keep streaming until after he gets home. Especially because I really want to finish this house. I'm doing good. Well, I'm doing alright. I'm losing my voice a bit, and I'm really focused on this build project, but other than that, we're doing fine. Let me pause to harvest our farms, because it looks like all of the farms are fully grown. So let's go get the hoe and do that real quick. Today has been really hyper-focused on building, so I got a bunch done. But I'm gonna quickly do some little mundane tasks and then get back to the build, because I want to get it at least outlined by the end of the day, which we mostly did. We'll definitely have a bunch of stuff to trade with the villagers when we're done. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, I should have been trading with the villagers in between so that they were refreshing their trades in between while I was building, but I didn't think of it, and I was too focused on the building. I will give a little tour of it in a second. Normally I'd probably be off by now, but I don't really have anything else to do today yet, so I'm just gonna keep streaming until I have something else to do. I'll have to mute the microphone when my partner gets home, because the dog will go nuts with her barking and excitement, so. Let me read that, because I can't read it I'm reading it on my phone, because I can't read it on the thing. It's always nice to have a shorter school day, for sure. We used to have a lot of them for, like, teacher conferences or teacher work days or that sort of thing when I was in school. Which sucked when I was homeschooled, because you didn't have that. But my days were also really different from online school than they were in regular school, so most of my days were really short anyways. I'm sorry that you got a really bad grade. Is it something that you're gonna be able to, like, make up for or redo or something? I don't know how the grade would work for it. 7 out of 15, that's 7 out of 15 is about a 40 something, roughly, so I don't know what it translates to in grade. Yeah, it'd be a little under 50, it'd be 40 something out of 100. So X percentage, that percentage is what it is. Yeah, I understand kind of holding yourself to a higher standard because of, like, wanting to get really good grades and things. If it is like an intense course, if it helps at all for perspective, for any courses that are higher grade level or like a more intense course than what you're supposed to be doing, even if you get bad grades, you tend to get, like, for if you're looking into college or things, you tend to get credit just for really doing them, even if it is a bad grade, because of the fact that you're doing something that you don't have to do or that's higher level. Like, for example, most honors courses and things, getting a B when your colleges are looking at it actually more so counts as an A, because it's an intense course. It takes a lot more work and effort to get a B than it would to get an A in regular course of that caliber sort of thing. So if you're doing it more so for, like, the idea of college or extracurricular or things like that, even lower grades does count fairly well towards your overall score as a human being when looking at other things like jobs or colleges. Yeah, true. But for the most part, the general rule with colleges that I always knew was that, growing up, was that, like, any extra courses outside of what you're required to do, they give you a tiny bit of extra credit, so. But you're doing your best, and you're doing it fine. Like, everyone has some times where they fall behind a little, or, don't get what they want to get on things. I know a lot of my languages and a lot of my, even like my English, which was my main, like even my required courses like English and social studies, I did pretty botched at a lot of the time, and I'd get down on myself about it, but it really is sometimes kind of all you can do at times, so. Understandable. I had to take a couple language classes that I didn't like because of having to get credits for what I wanted to do for colleges and stuff, or for distinctions. Like one of my distinctions that I wanted was honors distinction, and to get it I had to do really good with, I had to do a lot of extra classes that I normally wouldn't do, which led to a lot of unnecessary stress, but it ended up putting me a lot higher on the standings of what I was looking for, but a lot of those took way more effort than I wanted to do, and like I was so done with them by the end of that whole mess. Can I get in this way? I can't. I missed out on a bunch of potatoes because my inventory was full. Yeah, we definitely have a lot to trade with villagers. What grade level are you in, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious because it sounds like you have a lot on your plate at once. Yeah, I'm in the US. Yeah, sorry, it's a year for other countries, so it translates similarly across both, but we call it grades, so we have like kindergarten and then 1st through 12th grade, versus other countries usually have the year system, which in my opinion makes more sense. Most things outside of the US make more sense, but the US likes to be different. I gotta mute for a second. Sorry for the barking, that was my partner got home, so she's gonna be, yeah, 11th would be, junior. We also call it 11th grade in most of the places that I went to, but technically it's also translated as a junior. Yeah, I would imagine the most of the US school systems, especially smaller areas like mine, tend to be really behind in what learning is like. So I definitely imagine it's probably a lot more stressful than anything over here. Yeah. When I was online school, I had a lot more lax of a system. I don't remember how many hours it would translate to for like what I did in for what I did in our school. I didn't do a lot of the stuff that I had to do in school before I went to online school because of the fact that go get Dad. Indoor voice. Yeah, that's a lot to deal with at one time. Definitely would not want to be in the same situation as far as languages wise, but I also can't retain languages. The US doesn't really, for the most part, doesn't actually require languages nearly as much because of the fact that they just expect everyone else to cater to them, and because our system's pretty far behind on everything, but it really depends on area too, because a lot of different areas of the US have different standards.
Yeah, different states have different requirements.
Let's trade off a bunch of wheat. Let's trade off a bunch of pumpkins. Yeah, I understand that. We had we have a system with like homework and classes and things, homework and tests and things, but it's different per teacher. Like the teachers have a little bit more control over what is tested on and what isn't, or like what they assign for homework or for tests. A lot of areas of like some countries are starting to do away with homework, especially in older grades, because of the fact of it's been shown to actually like hinder a lot of academic progress in most subjects. But the US, really, it's just kind of up to each teacher once it gets to a certain grade level, because they stop really having a lot of regulations around it. And it's up to each like school's district and curriculum package. Let me go this way. Let me get this. Okay, what else do I have to trade? Where's my other butcher? I need another butcher because I have to trade the rest of my sweet berries. Where's my other butcher? He's in here. Okay. Oh, there's a baby cat. Yeah, that's quite the assignment for language. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because like in they have same assignments for like English and stuff in the US, so. You probably should get to work on reading that then, instead of chilling on my stream or reading in the background or something, because that's a lot of reading to get done. I can show you the build I've been doing all day. Yeah, I get that. I'll show you the build I've been working on today. I haven't finished it yet, but. You also need sleep. That's not exactly the best habit. I can't say much because I would do similar habits, but that's not the best habit. Saying from experience, that's not the best habit to have.
I can't say much. When I was younger, I used to spend like all night on my DS beating games.
Let me show you the build I've been working on. I was gonna finish the framework for it at least before I got off, and I wanted to show you the stuff in the world that I made progress on, because I told you I was gonna show you that stuff, so. I've been collecting a bunch of wood, so I have like this one filled, and I have all of this too. Let me take all my stuff back out that I need to finish the framework of it. Thanks. You have the same logic system that I do with sleeping, and I love it. That's exactly how I used to be with sleep. Is like, if I pull an all-nighter at night, then I can, you know, sleep better the next day. And then it never worked right for me, but that was my system.
I used to do that at the start of school years to try to reset my sleep schedule.
Let me take these trees out. I'm gonna take these trees out and then I'll show the house and get the house framework film. Yeah, that's why it never worked for me, because I would fall asleep. I would pass out by like 3 p.m. every day after I pulled an all-nighter, and then I'd sleep through most of the day, and then it'd be not helpful of a reset of my sleep pattern. Like, I would be trying my best to stay busy in caffeine and everything else under the sun, and I still would just absolutely, my eyes would not stay open at a certain point, and I would wake up again like hours. So, let me finish taking these trees out. Yeah, I get that. You have a lot on your plate, so you have a lot to keep busy with. I've been building a house today. That was the focus for today's thing. If you're listening to me. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've been building a house today. That was the focus for today's. I have the framework of it almost done. I was gonna finish it before I got off. This is the house. It's the biggest house I built on my own without a reference, and it actually looks really good in my opinion. Look. So this is gonna be like a sun thing, like a screened-in porch, like glass, a bunch of glass and stuff. I built one of the little like rounded towers that I like on houses. I built one of those. I built 2 floors. It was supposed to be 2 floors, but then to make the roof, it ended up being extra floors. Also, what do you have to bake? Baking's fun. So it was supposed to be 2 floors, but then I had to build the roof, and then the roof looked stupid if I cut it off halfway, so I had to build it all the way up, so it ended up being a lot more than 2 floors. And then I have like a little entryway here, and I have, this is going to be a little porch, that's why there's a floating roof. And then there's another add-on over here that's 1 floor with a little attic. I added a bunch of add-ons and stuff so that it's not just like one big square house like I usually do. I don't know, I think it turned out really good compared to my usual builds. Especially since I didn't do this off reference at all. This is all the framework for it done. Well, most of the framework. Puppy dog. Most of the framework. I have to finish tying in the roof to the porch here. This is going to be a porch, so I have to tie the roof down into it. And then I have to do the walls, obviously, and all the window spots and things like that. But I got the framework of, like, most of the posts and things done. I still have to add some posts in for, like, support-type posts and that sort of thing. Like how I have one here that's not up here and that sort of thing. But, and then I have to finish finalizing this, which actually I have to remember to light it up. Did I light it up? I did. Okay. I have to finish figuring out what I want to do for this one. For, like, the setup of it and the windows and stuff. Because I just impulsively did it as a, like, little add-on part. I will read yours because they keep getting cut out. I'm reading them now. Yeah, I understand that. That's kind of how siblings are, though, is like, siblings and parents are a lot of the time is like complaining that someone doesn't do something else when they do, so. Yeah, that sucks. I understand that. That's like how my family always was and is, and how a lot of families are, so. I'm not saying it's normal, but I'm saying I get that it would suck, and it happens a lot. Let me move this stuff. Let me move this stuff. Okay, so yeah, so that's the framework of the house, at least. I did the roofing and everything. I don't know, I think it turned out pretty good. The walls are going to be oak for the most part to break things up color-wise, since it's all dark. The reason I did spruce over here is because it's a separate, like, part of it, so I want it to be a little different to stand out. Yeah. So I made it spruce instead, which I'm going to add some intricate windows and stuff to it, hopefully. I don't know, I wanted to do, you know what I was referencing for it? You get what I mean for what I was referencing? Like those little column things that are in houses and around.
The one in Newport.
Yeah. Like, I think it would have looked better if I did it a little taller. I think it would have looked better if I did it a little taller. So I might actually reconstruct it and do it a bit taller. I think it would blend better being a bit taller than just that little short stub.
Make it more of a taller spike.
Do it one more floor worth or so. But I don't know. I think adding one more floor to it would actually make it stick out a little better and make sense in the build. But it looks fine like that, so for now I'm leaving it like that. I like it like that. I'm not gonna mess with a bunch of stuff. I'm also gonna eventually add in like a couple of little stick out windows in the on this side, little. And then add in like a chimney or something as well. But those are just things I want to add afterwards. I wanted to focus on just getting the framework done today because I've been streaming for ages. But yeah, so at least I got the framework done, and we streamed for almost 3 hours today, but I'm gonna have to get off. So I will try to do some more off-stream work of getting some more villager trades, getting some more levels, that sort of thing, and I will stream again on Monday probably. I think that's the next time that I'll be streaming, so sorry to cut it short, and I hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good time baking and doing whatever you gotta do for school and stuff. Good luck with all of that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you guys again on Monday. Bye.